Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Vessalatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabi ecmain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Treatise of Light, Risale-i Nur channel. Inshallah, we're going to be reading from the 12th letter, second question. Why are devils created? Almighty Allah created Satan, Shaitan, and evil. What is the wisdom in it? Isn't the creation of evil evil, and the creation of bad bad? So firstly, let's have a look at the question. The question is, why are devils created? Why did Allah create the Shaitan? Creating the Shaitan and evil, what is the wisdom in it? Isn't the creation of evil evil, and the creation of bad bad? So by creating evil, isn't that evil? And creating something bad, isn't that bad? So it's a valid question. Inshallah, let's have a look at the answer. Allah forbid. The creation of evil is not evil. The acquisition of or desire for evil is evil. So the creation of evil is not evil, but desiring it, wanting it, that is evil. For creation and bringing into existence, look to all the consequences, whereas such a desire looks to a particular result, since it is a particular relation. So it's going to give you an example now. There are thousands of consequences of rain falling, and all of them are good. If due to misuse of their wills, some people receive harm from the rain, they cannot say that the creation of rain is not mercy or that it is evil. For it is evil for them due to their mischoice and inclinations. So think about rain. The trees, the vegetation, the soil, the birds, the animals, everything benefits from rain, and especially humans. But if you were to build a house next to the river, and that river overflowed and there was a flood and your house got destroyed because of that, could you say that the rain is evil? Or maybe the action you took was irresponsible and wrong, which led to something bad happening to your property or to your possessions. Also, there are numerous benefits in the creation of fire, and all of them are good. If some people are harmed by fire due to their misuse of it and their wills, they cannot say that the creation of fire is evil, because it was not only created to burn them, rather they made a wrong choice and thrust their hands into the fire while cooking the food, and made the servants inimical to themselves. So another example, fire. So many benefits of fire. We heat ourselves with fire. We cook with fire. The factories all use fire to create energy and to run their operations. So many benefits of fire. But if you put your hand in fire and you burn your hand, could you say that fire is evil? That fire is bad? Or was it your mistake and your wrong choice that led your hand to burn from the fire? So could we say fire is evil? No. But your acquisition or your wrongdoing led to the fire injuring you. In short, a lesser evil is acceptable for a greater good. A lesser evil is acceptable for a greater good. If an evil which will lead to a greater good is abandoned so that a lesser evil should not occur, a greater evil will have been perpetrated. So sometimes you have to accept the lesser evil for the better outcome, the greater outcome. So the greater good. Because if you abandon that lesser evil, what's going to happen? Maybe a greater evil is going to come upon you. So it's going to give an example. There are certainly some minor material and physical harms and evils in sending soldiers to fight jihad. So, yes, there's certain harms. There's you're going to lose maybe a lot of soldiers. You're going to maybe lose, some of your, you're going to be spending a lot of money on the war, for example. And evil in sending soldiers to fight jihad, but the jihad leads to a greater good whereby Islam is saved from being conquered by the infidels. If the jihad is abandoned due to those lesser evils, the greater evil will come after the greater good has gone, and that is absolute wrong. So just imagine you abandon jihad because you say, we're going to lose soldiers, it's going to cost too much money to buy all this armory. But what's going to happen? Then the greater evil is going to happen because the infidels are going to conquer your country, invade your country, destroy your mosques, kill your women and children, and keep you occupied. So what's more important is to do the lesser evil in order to gain the greater good. Another example is to amputate a finger which is infected with gangrene and has to be amputated is good and right, although it is apparently an evil. For if it is amputated, the hand will be amputated. For if it is not amputated, the hand will be amputated, and that would be a greater evil. So another example. Just imagine your hand has been, your finger has been infected with gangrene. If you do not cut your hand off, what's going to happen? That gangrene is going to spread to your body and eventually kill you. So the lesser evil is cutting your hand off so you can have the greater good, which is protecting your entire body. Thus, the creation and bringing into existence of evils, harms, tribulations, Satans, and harmful things is not evil and bad, for they are created for many important results they yield. So the creation or bringing into existence evil and harms, tribulations, the shaitan, harmful things is not evil or bad, because they yield so many important results. For example, shaitan have not been set to pest the angels, and the angels cannot progress their degrees and are fixed and deficient. So the malaika, the angels, their degree is fixed. They're servants of Allah. They neither ascend or descend. And the shaitan doesn't deal with the angels, doesn't pester them. So they've got fixed and deficient degrees. However, in the world of humanity, the degrees of progress and decline are infinite. There is an extremely long distance through which to progress from the Nimrods and Pharaohs as far as the veracious saints and the prophets. But when you look at humans, it's a whole different scenario. Humans can become the highest of the high, like the prophets, the Anbiya, like the saints, peace be upon them. Or you could become the lowest of the low, like Fir'aun and Namrud, who rebelled against Allah and who oppressed the people. Thus, because of creation of shaitans, the Satans, and the mystery of man's accountability, and the sending of prophets, an arena of trial and examination and striving and competition has been opened, so that coal-based spirits may be differentiated and separated out from diamond-like elevated spirits. So the Satans have been created. And Allah has sent down all the prophets. So one side you've got the prophets, one side you've got the shaitan. And then he has set a arena of trial and examination. Imtihan, a test. So what has opened? A striving and competition has opened. So you can either elevate yourself like a diamond, so you can become like a diamond-like spirit, or you can become the lowest of the low and become like a coal-like spirit. If there had been no striving and competition, the potentialities in the mind of humanity resembling diamonds and coal would have remained equal. So if there wasn't any striving, any competition, then all humans are going to stay the same, because there's nothing to test you with. The spirit of Abu Bakr, the veracious, radiallahu anh, at the highest of the high would have remained on par with Abu Jahil at the lowest of the low. So one of the great Sahabas, one of the great companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah be pleased with him, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. How can we become like him? We have to strive. We have to go against the shaitan. We have to go against the evil and the nafs al-ammara. So we can become a servant of Allah, and we can strive to become an amazing human being like Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. But if you don't strive to become the highest of the high, what will happen? You'll become the lowest of the low, like who? The enemy of Islam and the leader of ignorance, Abu Jahil. This means that since the creation of shaitans, the Satans, and evil looks to vast universal results, it is not evil or bad. So the creation of shaitan, the creation of these things, looks to universal results. How can you enter Jannah if there's no shaitan? By you doing jihad, struggling against the shaitan, doing your spiritual jihad, what are you actually doing? You're actually gaining the reward of Jannah. You're becoming someone that is worthy of Jannah. So the shaitan is actually the cause of you going to Jannah if you don't obey the shaitan. The evils and instances of bad that arise from abuses and the particular causes known as man's acquisition pertain to his voluntary actions, not to divine creation. And we can see this. Look at these dictatorships, these brutal regimes, oppressive regimes, which torture their people and do things that are unthinkable, so inhumane. These are the people that have become the lowest of the low, that have become like the Abu Jahils, that have become like the Namruds and the Fir'auns. And those people struggling against this tyranny and this oppression and persecution are like the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they are becoming the highest of the high. And inshallah, we're going to talk about this in other treatises, risales. The ones that do all of this injustice, a lot of the time, they don't get punished in this world. That's why akhirat, hereafter, resurrection, the day of judgment, is necessary. So these people that have become the lowest of the low and have become the servants of the shaitan can be put to true justice. Inshallah, we'll continue that lesson, inshallah, on another occasion, and we'll finish off here. Inshallah, we will be of the ones that imitate the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, follow his sunnah, follow the companions' ways, the Sahaba, and all the great rightly guided companions and khalifas, the caliphs, and the tabi'in and tabi'i tabi'in, inshallah. May Allah protect us from following the shaitan and becoming the servant, the slave of our nafs al-ammara. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين لله تعالى الفاتحة.